Disclaimer! Anything I say in this video is LGBTQ friendly, and if you have something to complain about that, then please don't even think about touching the comments. Having that said, let's begin. Hey, psst, there's gonna be a volume warning, so yeah, lower your volume. Ha! Didn't expect that, did we? Welcome back for another Let's Talk About, where I share arguments, you share opinions. For today's topic, I've chosen something a little bit special that includes a vast majority of my subscribers, as much as myself. You've read the title, so let's begin. As you can see from the screenshot, the first man-to-man relationship registered dates all the way back to ancient Egypt. And it was they were brothers? Oh, Jesus. Well, of course, registered or not registered, queer behaviors have been seen around animals and nature too. Here's an example. So no, folks, it is not against nature. People usually say that as a straight white male too. No offense. The real, what I call gay awakening, started to happen around the 60s and 70s with the riots of young American people against the Vietnam War, and the most popular slogan being "Make love, not war." And you may be wondering, Soup, if it's a riot against war, then why is it gay? Well, one thing that people do not understand is that it's rare for a queer person to be gay for attentions, and the reason of all these coming outs more and more every year is because now, since the 70s, both young and old people are able to express themselves better and with more liberty than the periods of time where brutal suppression will be charged against people brave enough to come out of the closet. So, no, it isn't fashion, a trend. It could be a attention-seeking technique, but it's pure and simply another form of love. Yeah, that's basically it. And if you do not trust my words, let's also talk about the bad side of things. And at the first place, the most common case is queer people hating on straight people for their sexuality and vice versa. Listen, as much as you're granted to have the liberty to express yourself, others have too. If you can't fix someone's mind for the better, then accept who they are and how they behave. Of course, if it's a serial killer, you should absolutely not leave them be. But that's just an example on which behaviors are supposed to be cared of and which can be left behind. Oh my gosh, hating on someone for their sexuality is wrong on so many levels I can't even explain. And to you, my homophobic viewer, not liking men with men relationships but still accepting girls that like men? Isn't it the same love? The same pleasure? Another bad thing about the community is that most of the people make their personality all about being queer. I mean, I get that you're under the umbrella, but you don't have to talk about that every time you speak. It is annoying, and I'm saying that as a queer person myself. Oh, and one thing that I find unnecessary is the lack of clothes at pride parades. Sure, you're hot or whatever, and I agree about that, but this is a parade about being free to manifest your true self, not getting naked in public. Don't get me wrong, I fully support pride parades, as long as they don't physically hurt people and are done in a safe environment. But there are children that also breathe the same air. Going out with half your butt, if not all, does not show LGBTQ plus rights, pride and bravery. Let's talk about something else. One thing I've noticed by being in the queer community is the amount of hate and disrespect that is present in both gay and straight points of view. As much as it is bad outside the community, it's not better inside. And I'm not saying it's this to judge or even discriminate queer people, but you should really stay in the limits of humanity as other people do. Do prides, dress how you like, date who you want, or don't date at all. As long as you respect boundaries and others people's non-hateful opinions, do what you want. I came out in 2021. But they were signs manifesting since I was a kid. That's how you know, how you study yourself to figure stuff out. There has to be signs, and even the absence of signs are signs. If you suddenly came out as gay as a man, then you should be attracted to only men, right? And of course, I'm talking about trans men too. Trans men and women are still men and women. What they have in their pants or chest does not matter. They'll change that too eventually, so why bother? Well, I honestly think that this distinction between trans and cisgender, meaning remaining the gender assigned at birth, should not exist at all, and they should just be defined with their gender, not going as far as distinguishing them from their organs. Now, what's your opinion about this whole thing? Have you got one? If yes, please share them in the comments. And as always, I'm open for suggestion or arguments that I should bring. Thank you all for listening to me yap so much, means a lot. Well, lights out for me. See you in the next time. I wonder if the management team is okay with me exploding the studio. Wait, aren't I the managing team?